Alright, so I'm going to do 2 reviews for you guys here, because I've got the time, and I just was out of frame. I'll do my first one. I finally got to watching Paranormal Activity 2. It's not in theaters anymore, but I have my ways. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I saw Paranormal Activity 2, and, yeah, I want to talk about that. The plot is, it's like 2 months before Katie and Mika's stuff happens from the first movie, and it's with Katie's sister, who just had a baby, and she's living with her husband, her stepdaughter, and her new son, Hunter. And weird stuff starts to happen, and Katie and Mika come in for a couple scenes, and it's great. And then, yeah. So basically, this movie was so freaking boring. I loved the first Paranormal Activity. I thought it was very well done. It was really good. And I liked the acting in it, and I thought everything about it was fantastic. So this one, obviously, I had high expectations for it. And I watched it, and it was just so boring. Yes, the first one can be argued that the first one was boring. I will give you that. It had its slow moments in the beginning, but it worked. This one was just slow, and it didn't work. Like, nothing happened. There was so few moments of just like, okay, the door moved. That's it for the whole next 20 minutes. Okay. And the characters weren't that likable. The dad was a douche. I was so happy at the end what happened to him. The acting in this was horrible. Except from Katie and Mika. They were still great. But it just seemed very scripted. Whereas the first one, I think, was completely improvised. This one just seemed very scripted and just very cut and paste and really crappy. It had a much bigger budget than the first one. I think it was a $2 million budget. The original was $15,000, $11,000. It's very just boring and poorly acted, and the only action comes from the last 20 minutes. And even then, it was really boring. This movie relies on a lot of jump scares more than the first one. It's not as creepy as the first one, it's just there. The only things I liked about it were that Mika and Katie came back, and they were fantastic. And I liked their little draws in, like their callbacks to the first film. That being said, I did give this one a pretty decent rating, because I do like the first one a lot, and I think this one, it was okay, but they just tried too hard, and it wasn't as good. It didn't have the same director / writer. They had new people working on it, and it just fell apart, I think. So I give this one a really low 3 out of 5, or a 6 out of 10. It's very mediocre, and the first one's way better, and I don't know how they're going to make a third one. One more thing I did like about this film was the bits and pieces they took from the first movie and threw into this movie, because this movie happens before, during, and a little bit after the first movie. And I liked the combination of how they kind of fit together. But other than that, it was really boring, and I don't recommend checking it out unless you're a fan of the first one. The third one, I don't know if I'm going to watch it. I don't know how they're going to work it out. But yeah, Paranormal Activity 2 gets a low 3 out of 5. Comment, rate, subscribe. Hope you like this video. Keep suggesting titles for my review. My list is getting shorter. Yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it.